Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, I'm sitting here saying to myself, there is nothing in the news for me to talk about today. What am I going to go before my true crime friends and discuss this morning? And I was like, what? There's a couple little hearings around the interwebs. And I was like, oh, we can just get caught up on all these other stories that are going on. That's what we're going to do this morning. But first, you know what you need to do. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. That helps other people find us. Also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky. So look, first we need to talk about Donna Adelson. Ugh. Okay, so you remember Donna Adelson. Donna Adelson is down there in Florida. She is alleged to have solicited somebody to unfortunately unalive her son-in-law. Now, the people who did the wet works to unalive her, they tucked away in prison. They gone to prison forever, ever. And then Donna's son Charlie also has been convicted. And he was like, wait, it wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. And so after he got convicted, Donna and her husband Hobby were just like, oh, wow, this is terrible. We need a nice, relaxing vacation to Vietnam on some one-way tickets. And we need to get out of town right away. And they were trying to get out of town real fast right away. And the FBI met her on the jet bridge on the way to the flight. And they was like, hey, girl, hey, you have a right to remain silent. And so they arrested her. And she's like, wait, what? Me? And then allegedly, well, we heard the phone call, so I guess it's not alleged. In Donna Adelson's phone calls, she was talking to her son, Charlie, on a recorded line. Ma'am, you called the jail. And it says on the jail phone call, this is a recorded line. Everything you say will be recorded, subtext, and used against you in a court of law. She was just like, well, our lawyer, Daniel Rashbaum, said that we could try to get out. I mean, maybe they stop us at the border, but we should probably do our level best to get out. And so, I just need to take care of some things. And by take care of some things, she meant buy one-way tickets to Vietnam. So she's been sitting over there in the jail for like a year and a half. She really, really does not like it. She would strongly prefer to be at home or at the Four Seasons. And she thought she was going to go talk to the manager, aka the judge, and he was going to give her better accommodations. And the judge was like, for what? I mean, what he said was, Mrs. Adelson, it's jail. You should probably not try and flee the country. She was like, but judge, there's a lot of carbs and my mattress is hard. Can you send the bellman up here? There's no bellman. I would like to give this resort a bad Yelp review. And he was like, see also, Mrs. Adelson, it's still jail. Donna's not enjoying jail. I would feel sad for her, but she is complicit in the unfortunate unaliving of an innocent victim. So I don't care. Anyway, so Donna was in court the other day, right? And her lawyers, the lawyer who told her it was okay to flee the country, allegedly, because that man not suing me. Anyway, Daniel Rashbaum, her former lawyer, has been kicked off the case, right? And her current lawyers is Jackie Fulford and some other dude with a good reputation. I remember Miss Jackie because I know she's the funeral home lawyer. She's a disgraced judge who now works out of a funeral home. Yikes. Anyway, so she was in court and she was like, Your Honor, that allegedly scandalous former lawyer who may or may not have told Donna it was okay to flee the country. They had some emails and stuff and we need to look at them. We need more time. And the judge was like, heifer what? That's not what he said. He was just like, say more. He's real calm and real judicial, but he is not to be messed with. He has already told us all, now listen, I'm not afraid to break out the handcuffs. You better ask somebody. And I was like, okay, Judge, I will govern myself accordingly. Also, he's cute and chocolatey. He looks like a little milk dud. I love Judge Ever. Anyway, we're not talking about me. So Donna's lawyers, including her funeral home lawyer, came to court to be like, hey, Judge, hey, we're going to need some more time because we think the state is playing games and withholding evidence. And we're trying really, really, really hard to get her not to go to prison for the rest of her life. Although everybody can see as plain as day that she's probably going to go to prison for the rest of her life. But she's entitled to a fair trial. So can we have more time, please? And thank you. And the judge was like, I'll think about it. So we're still waiting to see if Donna Adelson's trial is going to get continued. And I was like, okay. Meanwhile, the state is like, we've been ready. We don't have to get ready because we stay ready. We were ready to send her to prison when she had the first scandalous lawyer. And so now these funeral home people or whatever, we ready to whip them in court too, Your Honor. Whenever you say it's go time, we stay on go. We're ready. We're ready right now. And the judge was like, okay, let me think about it. So I was like, oh, so we just think about it. Okay. And then, honey, in other true crime news, you may recall that Lori Vallow Daybell was convicted last week in the unfortunate unaliving of her fourth husband, Charles, right? And everybody was like, yay, she's a horrible human being. She unalived her children. She unalived her fourth husband. She unalived her fifth husband's first wife. You kind of need a flow chart to deal with this heifer because her evil requires a graph. Anyway, so she got convicted. Everybody was happy. And then the juror spoke. Now listen, let us be abundantly clear. Jurors always have the option to say no comment. They can commence to shutting up and going right on off to their cars. And under the law, all the press and everybody has to leave them alone. But there are three jurors who spoke. There was Tosh, who got up and was just like, she made good common sense. And she's like, I just moved to town. I know nothing about this heifer. My grandma knew all about it. P.S. Tasha's grandma, I want to talk to you. Because grandma knew all about it. Grandma was all up in the true crime. And Tosh was like, but my granny didn't say nothing. So we're like, okay, Tasha's cool. And then this lady, Victoria, spoke to the press. And Victoria was like, this case seemed terrible. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. Yeah, she's guilty. Can I go to my car now? And then there was Carl. Now listen, Carl, who was the blue shirt juror, who I have nicknamed Uncle Doing Too Much, because he seemed like my uncle and he was doing way too much, way too much. Carl, I'm not sure if Carl had information about this case prior to the case or if Carl was confused, because juror Carl, Uncle Doing Too Much, has told us a lot of different stories about his level of knowledge on this case. Story number one that he told was, I didn't know anything about Lori Vallow Daybell. I never heard of her. I never heard of this case. I don't watch local news. I only watch national news. So I don't know anything about anything. And I was like, okay, so everything you learned during the course of this trial. Okay, that's good. Then story number two that he said immediately on the heels of the verdict was, yeah, yesterday I heard about her having 3 life sentences and I was thinking, this is terrible. Oh my goodness. And he went on and on about how, he felt sorry for her and she had 3 life sentences and blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. Uncle Doing Too Much said he knew about the 3 life sentences during a time when he should not have known about her prior convictions. Then he went on to continue talking to say, I didn't know anything about it. I need to watch my mouth. I need to watch what I say. Sir, which is it? Clearly, you're not that good at watching what you say. You have failed shut up class miserably. And me personally, as a professional gossip, I'm real glad about it. But Lori and the judge and all them other people, they probably not going to be that happy about it. So, sir, what say you? Then Uncle Doing Too Much went on the Hidden True Crime podcast, Hidden Gems, Hidden True Crime. I don't know. You know, Dr. John Matthias and his real cute wife, Lauren Matthias, he went on their channel where he was cool and calm and collected. And he was like, I misspoke. What I meant to say was I didn't know anything. And then after we had our verdict and everything, I real quick Googled everything on my phone. And then I found out she had 3 life sentences. And so I didn't know anything during the course of the trial. And I was like, I don't know what to believe about you, sir, because now this is the 3rd story you have told. Well, one of these web sleuths, somebody out here in these true crime streets, one of y'all probably, was like, dear judge, you let your little your little email fingers do the walking, and somebody has sent an email down to the Maricopa County judge and was like, hey judge, hey, there's a juror who was out here in these streets saying too much. See, also, Uncle Doing Too Much. And so they were like, we don't know what he knew. We don't know when he knew it. He's obviously told 3 different stories so far. And this person was like, it's only fair that Lori Vallow should get a copy of that tape so that she can do with it what she will. Now, will this cause a mistrial? Will this cause the trial to have to be done over? Legal experts, y'all, I am not a legal expert, but actual legal experts like lawyers and stuff say probably no, because there's a whole process that has to happen, right? The Uncle Doing Too Much has to come back and say what he knew, and then Lori has to ask questions. Lori has to file some paperwork to say like, oh, he shouldn't have known that when he knew it, blah, blah, blah. And so the judge would have to find, did the alleged thing happen and did the alleged thing have an effect? I don't know the answer to any of those questions, but juror, people were in my comments like, Kathy, you shouldn't mention what the guy said. Maybe that guy should have shut up. He should have shut up. You know I failed shut up class. Obviously, I have a whole channel as proof that I cannot shut up. But I was not on the jury. I just reporting what happened. So we're going to see what happens on that. Probably nothing, because Lori is busy serving as her own lawyer, and she has reportedly not been very pleased with what's happening down there in Arizona. She says it's too hot and the food is not good, and she really does not enjoy the people. She would like to go back up to northern Idaho, where there's apparently a lovely view from the prison. Okay, good for you. Is that in their Yelp reviews? I mean, I don't know how you could enjoy a prison view, because I enjoy a free view of just like, well, the whole world and not from behind prison bars. But I'm funny like that. You know, I'm the kind of girl who does not enjoy prison. And so the way that I exercise that is I don't break no laws and I stay out of jail. And I leave all them people who do that alone. I don't want no parts of it. So we're going to see what happens with Lori Daybell and Carl, the blue shirt juror. Uncle doing too much. Lord, the way that man needs to shut up. But I suspect the Uncle doing too much gonna be out here. He gonna be on our screens and on our TVs again. And I will be watching. I will report back. Last but certainly not least, you remember the unfortunate unaliving of Grant Solomon. So look, let me get you caught up. Grant Solomon was a baseball player over there in someplace in the South or the Midwest or whatever. I forget where they're from. I want to say Tennessee, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so Grant Solomon was this baseball player. He had two parents. His dad was like an anchor on the local news, and his mom, Angelina, was his mom. The parents went through an ugly divorce, and they were back and forth, and the divorce got real ugly. And the children, Grant and Gracie, the children from that marriage, said that the dad was abusive, physically, emotionally, in all the ways that you can be mean to kids. He was being mean to kids, right? So one day, the dad says to Grant, who was like an aspiring baseball player, why don't I meet you over at the batting cages and we can talk and we can settle things down and whatever. At the time they had this meeting, Grant had just turned 18 and he was about to seek custody of his sister, Gracie. And I was like, okay, the dad reportedly didn't want this to happen for whatever reason. And at the meeting, there was a freak accident and Grant ended up unalived. Now, was it actually an accident? Did the daddy do something? I don't know. I've seen reports that say the daddy did terrible things to Grant, and that's why Grant is no longer on this mortal coil. I've seen reports that say it was obviously an accident, and the police have investigated it 2 or 3 times. We don't know. Then Sister Gracie got out here on the TikTok, and she was just like, this is terrible. Justice for me. Justice for my brother. Somebody needs to do something about my dad because my dad is terrible. And the mom, Angelia, was like, you know what I'm going to do? I think I can handle this whole situation by unfortunately unaliving my ex-husband. But here's the thing. Angelia was a little light on cash. And so she's like, what do we have around here we can pawn? You know what? I'm just going to meet with this alleged hitman and I'm going to plan it. And maybe I can work out a payment plan. Ma'am, I'm not sure if you know how crime works, but usually there's not a layaway unaliving. You can't do a payment plan. And she's like, hey, hitman, hey, listen, my ex-husband is really terrible. And I would like to unfortunately unalive him, but I don't have a lot of cash. And good news for us, for her, I don't know. This alleged hitman was from the TBI. That's the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Oh yeah, it must have happened in Tennessee. Anyway, so the TBI dude was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm like, did he have like a scratchy voice and like a scar on his face? How did you know he was not a police officer? Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so the alleged hitman was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to take a payment plan, girl. And then he said to her, I was like, if this lady watched true crime, she should have known this was a setup, because the TBI agent was like, so you understand if I do this hit, it's going to take him completely off this mortal coil. He's never coming back, right? I think that's how killing works. Was he explaining death to her? Why was she confused? And her response on a recording was, I'm very naive. Ma'am, you're trying to hire a hitman, but you're not clear how death works? I don't know how her brain works. Please hold. So she's like, I'm very naive. And I'm not really sure how these things work. But yes, I understand that after you perform the hit, you're not just going to hit him. You're going to hit him. So she's like, yeah, I want him gone. I want him under the ground. I want him to disappear forever. And he was like, okay, you're speaking directly into this flower on my lapel, right? I want to make sure I have all of that. And she was like, uh-huh. And he was like, okay, so give me the down payment. It's going to be $5,000. And she's like, See, what happened was the way my money is set up is that I don't have hitman money, but I tell you what, I'm going to pay double when the hit is done. Ma'am, if you don't have money now, how you going to have money then? You're not his wife. You're not going to get any life insurance. I don't understand how you thought this was going to work. But she was like, here's the title to my car. So, you know, as like collateral, and then I'm going to give you $10,000. Okay. Okay. And so he was like, this is terrific. Also, you have the right to remain silent. I don't know how quickly she was arrested after that, but she was arrested pretty much in short order. We found out in a hearing yesterday, in addition to trying to unfortunately unalive her husband, she was trying to put out a hit on 2 other people. Ma'am. And the 2 other people have been warned. Good for them. You couldn't afford a hit on 1 guy. So you figured you could just stretch that and afford a hit on 3. Also, who were the 2 other people? What is happening? My research has revealed that both of these parents were terrible human beings. The daddy was terrible. The mama was terrible. I feel sorry for these kids. I don't know if Grant's slipping the surly bonds of this earth was an accident. Was it on purpose? Was it like a freak weirdo thing that happened? Everybody has strong opinions about it. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. I was not there. But Angelia went back to court the other day and she was like, hey, just listen, you said a $500,000 bond and I didn't have $5,000 to get my ex-husband axed. So you know I don't have $500,000. And the judge was like, okay, cool. Listen, I'm going to lower your bond to $250,000. I don't know how that's better if she didn't have $5,000 to get the dude whacked, but maybe her friends can like raise money and come up with that. I don't know. So the judge said, I'm cutting your bond in half. You have a $250,000 bond and you have to be on full house arrest. That means you can never leave the house. And I'm thinking to myself, I like my house. My dogs are here. That might be okay. And then the judge said the thing that shook me to my core. He said, you can have no communication devices. And I was like, okay, what exactly does that mean? She can have no cell phone and no internet. Send me back to prison. No internet? None at all? Like none? Not even Netflix? You can't. No internet? Y'all. I think that's worse than jail. Listen, lock me up. Don't take my internet because I believe they have the internet in jail. I mean, on illicit cell phones, but that is still the internet. You think she's going to get a secret squirrel phone? You think she's going to have like one of them flip phones and she's like doing stuff? Y'all. So Miss Angelia, if she can get out, honestly, she might have more freedom if she stayed down there at the jail. How's she supposed to get food? Who's going to bring her meals? You can't even Instacart if you don't have internet. Can she live in the house with people who have internet? I have so many questions. So many questions. So more is coming. The Karen Reed trial is ongoing. And to that I say, I don't care. I don't like that trial. I don't like any of the people in the trial. And I frankly don't care what happens. I will not be reporting on it. But I will follow up with Donna Adelson, Uncle Doing Too Much, and Angelia Solomon. We gonna see. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.